Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a good day. So, as you can see, it is raining, 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 raining. So I have not been able to do much of anything out here except sand and clean, repair, repair, sand and clean. I was hoping to show y'all a little bit about some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing with these pieces, but with the rain, I can't use anything, and I don't want to bring these inside yet because I'm not sure I'm done with the repairs. So, just a little recap of what we're doing. I've got four pieces that I'm working on. As you can see behind me, I have this dresser right here that was a hot mess. All these bigger drawers over here are from it. See them all stacked up? Then I have the two end tables right over there and right over here. Those didn't need a whole lot of repair. I just used the Dixie Belle mud and filled in some of the scratches and stuff that were on those. And then of course I have my beautiful, what we have determined, hey Kate, our linen cabinet over there. We've decided that that's what that is. It's the antique linen cabinet. It didn't need that much repair either, but it did have didn't have a multitude, but it did have some difficult repairs. So let me show you real quick I'm going to show y'all Big Mama's Butta. And if you don't know me, my name is Michaela from Paint Fixation in Middleburg, Florida. So if you're local to Jacksonville, Orange Park, Middleburg, I have paint for sale at Antiques for You on Blanding Boulevard and at Junk in the Trunk in Fleming Island. So if you're just getting to know me, that's where my paint is locally. But of course, I can ship to anybody, anywhere in the United States. You just go to my website, which I've tagged in the comments at paintfixation.com, and you can order your paint there. There is a delay in shipping because of COVID. They have hired, I think they now have 70 workers. So if you do order, please keep in mind that shipping is delayed. Even I'm getting delayed shipping. Even being Premier with priority shipping, I'm still getting delays, and I have 2 orders out that I'm waiting on as well. So I believe everybody's having the same issues. Amazon, everybody's having issues with shipping. But if you do order from me, please keep that in mind. Okay? And I know that I look super cute today with my little bandana on. I'm sorry that I'm looking so good. I know it's hard to, but this is where we're at because of the heat and the rain. I got to keep the sweat off my face. Okay, so this is one of the drawers from the linen cabinet. As you can see, they have this really nice shape to them, but a couple of them had bad breaks on the edges. This one was the worst one, okay? So I had to use Bondo because the mud's not strong enough for this kind of a repair where you're missing the entire corner of something. And so if you look closely, well, the first thing I did was I used a screw for the major part. I had to actually do 2. I didn't have enough Bondo on here for the first part of it that I did. I didn't add enough Bondo because Bondo is kind of funny because it'll look like you have enough, then you start sanding it, and it just wasn't. And I even probably could have done even more on here, but the more further out you get, the more chance you have of it breaking off. But so what I did was I put a screw into the middle part in the biggest section, and then if you look closely, you can see these finishing nails. So after the first repair, I tapped in some finishing nails, and then was able to get that to hang on, because if you just put it on there on the edge, you risk it breaking off. But if you give it something to hang on to, it's such a strong bond. Even this little crack right here, if you look really closely, see that crack? Hey, Kristen! I know you're busy, but I hope to hear from you soon. I can't wait to hear about your house sale. See this right here, this crack? So I was able to get Bondo in the crack, and It is as smooth as glass. Okay, so hey Melissa. So this is very smooth. I still need to do some shaping. As you can see, it's not quite square, although these do have a little bit of a curve to them, the edges. But this is gonna need some more shaping. I'm not real happy with it, but it's a lot better than the chunk that was missing on it, okay? So that's that one. And okay, so here's one from the other dresser. These had a lot of veneer missing on the edges, and for the most part, I used mud, the Dixie Belle mud. But on some of these where it was kind of on the edge and the mud just wasn't quite gripping because they were a little bit deeper, anything that's really deep, I like to use Bondo because it dries faster, and I feel like because it's drying faster, it grips better. But it's not as good for scratches and indentations as the mud. I can put the mud and on the top of the other dresser, the linen closet thingy, linen cabinet. It looked like someone took a screwdriver and just played on the top of it. I was able to get mud and smooth it over there, and so that surface is very smooth. It's sometimes really difficult to feather these in, to feather in the edges, and so that you get a smooth finish. But this one is very smooth. This one's not quite as smooth, but faux finishes are wonderful for that. You can do frottage, where you put a coat of paint down and then you use either a thinned out paint or glaze, and then you put that over the top, then you put your bag on top and then pull it up. That's a good technique to use for hiding imperfections. But I think I'm going to be doing on this one for sure, I'm going to be doing a faux wood grain on this one back here. So I will do that live, and I would have loved to have done that today, but I'm going to be spraying Boss on this one and the linen closet. They both need Boss, and I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 coats of Boss because they are heavy bleeders. And the linen closet thingy cabinet especially, I know I'm going to be doing I cannot see without these glasses on. I know I'm going to be doing a light color, probably French linen, sawmill gravy, something like that. So I'm definitely going to do 2 coats of Boss on the linen cabinet. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing cobalt blue and black, and maybe even some in the navy on this one. So I probably will only do 1 coat of Boss. Now, even though I am using darker colors, cobalt is not, the darkest blue that we have, and a brown tannin will show through. I have had tannins come through antebellum blue. So if you're familiar with our blues, I've had tannins come through antebellum blue. So you really need to keep that in mind if you have a heavy bleeder like these. And you can usually tell if it's a heavy bleeder when you're cleaning it. This is just an idea of how yucky these were when I cleaned it with the White Lightning. Do you need me, honey? No? Okay. That's my nephew. So this is like after cleaning it 3 times. So, but they're clean now. I actually even wiped them down with some lacquer thinner. I don't usually like to use that kind of product because it is so toxic. But this is the one I had. I painted my husband's car with my sprayer, not with Dixie Belle paint. I used car paint, but I had to get some lacquer thinner to use it in order to clean my sprayer. And so I had some on hand. So I did wipe them down after I stripped them. And you can see how well the strip, if you follow me, you saw the post that I did on stripping, and these stripped so good. I don't think I've ever done a piece. Hi Deb, hi DM, Dana, hey Dana, hi Deb. I don't think I've ever had a piece stripped so easily. Literally after I got off of my live the other day, I was able to strip these down to the wood, which is very rare for me. Usually it takes 2 steps, like strip it and then add more stripper and let it sit and then go from there. but these stripped beautifully, and they're very nice and smooth. I'm very pleased with the way that they stripped down, because this piece was thick and goopy with some kind of lacquer. I don't even know what was on it, but I should have saved, I really should have. I should have saved the bag of gunk that came off of this, you guys. Ugh. Just think of black tar. That's kind of what it looked like. So with the mud, let me grab one. They all had to have a little bit of something done to them. Hang on one second. That one I could, so like on this one, I could not get it to be completely smooth. It's pretty smooth, but this is going to show some imperfections, and I'm just going to go with it. This is an old piece. I might add some black, because I'm going to be doing the cobalt and the black, so I might add some black wax to it, just to kind of, sometimes you have to go with what your piece looks like. If it looks like crud, then you have to kind of go with it. So here's some mud in here that I did. Still has a little edge on it. I didn't want, because this is in such bad condition, sometimes you have to decide, is it worth it to spend more time fixing all the little imperfections? Because, you know, time is money. And so, like, my husband was like, well, why don't you go do, you know, put this in here and do this and this and this. And I was like, honey, I cannot do all that. You know, it's like I've repaired what I can. I wish I could find one. It must be behind there. So here's an example of one that I'm just not even going to worry about. This is this is one of the nicer ones. So there's hardly any problems with this linen closet, except all the drawers had a little bit of damage on the edge pieces. So do you see this right here? Okay. I tried to fill that with mud, and I knew it wasn't, because it's got the little thing on here, and it's just a small area. So then I tried to do it with, hi Marcia, hi honey, hi Kenny. So I tried to do it with the Bondo, and it just doesn't want to stay in there. I could tap a nail in there. Now, if I were to take a finishing nail like I did on the other one, and if I took you see there, if I took a finishing nail and tapped it in, even with this, you see that? If I tapped it in even with this, yes, I'm in the rain. I've had my door up and down, up and down, up and down all day, so it doesn't get my stuff wet. I don't mind being in the rain. I love it, but not my wood. So if I tapped in a finishing nail and I put them away, but they're just, you know, maybe 3/4 of an inch long. You tap it in until it's even, and then and I gotta sand this little piece of Bondo off of here. I might go back and do that, because this is such a nice piece. Hey Sherry. So tap it in there, and then I could put Bondo on that, and then it would stay. My issue was laziness. Okay, let's just admit it. Laziness of wanting to try and just stick the Bondo in there or the mud and make it stay. When if I had just put the little nail in there to begin with, it would have been fine. Just like the other one, because you can see how much bigger of a repair this one was. The one I showed y'all just a few minutes ago. So this is a much bigger repair. You see that? It's not perfect. I am not a I like to think I'm a perfectionist, but if my husband's on here, you can tell you probably I'm not. But, hey Melissa. So you can see again, see the finishing nails, and there's actually a screw. There's a screw right in about this place here, and there's about this much, not even 1/4 of an inch of the screw sticking out. It's just enough to grab the Bondo to hold on so that it doesn't pop off. I did the edge of a dresser, which was a much bigger repair than this, and it stayed on great. But I do want to show y'all Big Mama's Butta, because I can't paint with y'all today because of the rain. I wanted to show you, this is Big Mama's Butta. I know it's backwards, I don't have my webcam out here. This is a product that you can use to freshen up your wood. You can use it to, you could use it, I'm not going to show you on the outside of these because I am painting them. You cannot paint over this. This is not like our waxes. Our waxes are water-based. So when you use our waxes, not the gilding waxes, but the best stain wax, when you use those waxes and wait till they're dry, buff them out, and when you can buff them and not get anything on your cloth, they're dry, you can paint over those, okay? I'm getting humidity and fog on my glasses. Excuse me, I was going to use my shirt. I'll just use this. It's so humid out here. If Marcia knows, Melissa knows, they're local. And Wilma's here. She knows it's humid today and wet and gross. Okay, so this is different than the best stain wax. This is not water-based, so you cannot paint over this. If you use Big Mama's Butta and then you decide you want to paint your piece, you have to use mineral spirits and clean it off, a lot like you do in some of the other brands' regular waxes. So some of the other major brands' regular waxes are oil-based, and they need to be removed completely. Hi, Angie. Welcome. Before you paint them, okay? Our waxes can be painted over, but they just need to be dry, okay? This needs to be completely removed if you want to paint with it, okay? Now, you can use this to put on your raw wood to refreshen it, okay? You can use it, I'm going to be using it all on the inside of this because this is such, hi Cindy, because this is such an old piece. Where are you guys from? Angie, Cindy, where y'all from? I know I've seen y'all on here before. I know I've seen Cindy. I'm not sure about Angie. Where are y'all watching from? So I'm going to be doing the inside of this just to give it a freshen up. I'm actually going to need to buy more or go to the store up to my shop to get a bigger one because I'm almost out. But I'm going to be doing the inside of it, and I'm definitely going to, well, I was going to do the inside of the linen cabinet, but my husband wants me to paint the Kentucky. What's the weather like in Kentucky today? England. Whew. What's the weather like in England today? It's yucky here. See how yucky? Yucky. Florida yucky. So I'm going to paint the inside of the linen closet, and I'm going to spray it. So I'm not going to use this in there. I am going to be using this in all the drawers. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? So I think this is the one I did earlier. Yep. And I'm going to show you, if I can get the light to hit it just right, I'm going to try and get the light to hit it. Do you see this line right here? This is paint. This is with the Big Mama's Butta, and this is without. Okay? It just gives it a nice. Let me see. I want to do it in this drawer. I'm hoping that this drawer. I didn't even put any in here yet. Let me wipe it off just a little bit with the because I have been sanding in here. And I made the mistake of cleaning everything off and realizing I was going to have to go back and sand it again. Evening time and gorgeous, hot, and sunny. Gorgeous, hot, and sunny. Hot and sunny doesn't sound hot. Sunny's nice. Hot, not so much. Nebraska. Hi, Diana. We've got England, Kentucky, Nebraska. I know we've got some Florida girls in here. And then Kristen, she had to pop off. She is from Massachusetts. Okay, so I'm going to try it in this. Okay? And I'm going to hold it up while I do it. I don't have my webcam, so my thing doesn't tilt. Let me see if I can tilt this down some. There we go. So I don't have to hold it as high. But this mess in here, it is nasty. I may end up having to, I'm just going to do a little bit of this drawer because I may end up having to line these with something. So if I decide to line this with something, I'm going to have to take this out with some mineral spirits. And I'm just using the Belle natural brush. Your phone says you're still watching. What are you doing out here? You're fine. This is my husband just popped in. You should come over here and say hi, honey. Huh? Show them you're a real person. Look at that. Okay, so I just put a very little bit on my brush. And I like to use the natural brush for this because, for one, this is my Belle, and sometimes it wants to shed. So I don't have to worry about it getting in my paint. Okay, so then it's just, I just put a very little bit. Do you see the difference? This was a good drawer to use because it was so bad. Okay, so I've got it on. Now I'm going to take a clean rag. I'm going to use my shop towels. These are my favorite thing ever. I know my husband's looking at me like he knows they're not cheap. And then I'm going to buff it into the wood. And you can see it's just a little bit on there. You can see how clean I got these. If y'all had seen these drawers before I cleaned them. Oh! Now, that looks way, way better than it did. Don't y'all agree? Way, way, way better. Okay, and now I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the edge over here because this is a little bit different wood on here. And I'm going to show y'all how much I have on here. Like literally, can you see that? I went pop in it and that was it. And mine is kind of spin out here in the, look at me, I'm just a mess. It's been out here in the heat, so it's pretty wet. But so I'm going to fill on the edges. I want to make sure y'all can see the magic happened. This is a great alternative to lining your drawers and stuff. In fact, if this stays this nice when it dries, if none of that haze comes back, which, you know, is always a possibility, but I don't think it is, these bad boys are going to stay like this. They are not perfect. There's some stuff I could not get off. Oops, that's, oh gosh, I don't even know what that is. Let me see. I couldn't get that off the other day. We're going to take a brief pause while we try and get this off. It's coming off. I don't know what this is. I could not sand this off. I wonder if it's wax from a candle. You just never know what you're going to find. What is this called? This is Big Mama's Butta. It's a conditioning product. Yes, it does, but this, I'm like wondering why this is coming off now, but it wouldn't come off the other day. And let me tell y'all, I had, like I said, I did use my lacquer thinner to wipe down stuff, and it did not take off whatever that crap was. Just, excuse my language. I'm actually been really good about my language. Hey! I'm glad he thinks he's so funny. You know what? You probably could use this on your skin because it's all natural. I think it has beeswax and some other stuff in there. I wouldn't be opposed to putting it on my skin. There. That's not too bad. Well, I was able to scrape it off. I don't know what it was. These drawers, and then I have one. If you follow me and you saw the video from the other day, the drawer over there that had the hair pick design in it. I'm sure you do, Aunt Kate. I cannot get it off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if someone picked their hair with like some kind of super gel and then laid it in there because there's like a perfect gross, and it's hard as a rock. I have used sanding. I have a surf prep. If you do a lot of sanding, I do not sell these. I do not work for them. I have to try that, Dana. But this is my surf prep. I don't work for them. I don't sell these. I don't have an affiliate link. I just really, really like it. It is has a hose that goes to I'll show you. I have a small little wet dry vac over there. You see my industrial fan? You know I love you because I have my fan off when usually it's blowing full force and knocking me over. So this one, I think it might, see how quiet it is? It's really quiet. And they have different pads on them. I'll just give y'all a quick little demonstration. I wasn't prepared to show you this, but they do have these pads to protect the, because this Velcro's off, so they have pads to protect this when you're using the flatter ones. And I want to show you, there's different, so they have, this is coarse, you can see how yucky that one is. This is one of the ones I used with the Bondo. Bondo's hard to sand off. Oh, I'm sorry, Angie. And then this is fine. Again, you can see this one's had it. It's done for. Oh, here they are. And then they have these little flat ones. Again, I don't sell these, so I'm not sure what they call all these are. I don't know what they call these. But this can go, so when I'm sanding my repair, the big repair, because I still need to play with this. I still need to try and fix this a little bit. But when I was sanding this here flat, you want to make sure when you're making repairs like that, that when you put your product in, you want to always have it a little bit more than you need. My husband, he's watching me do all that. Yes. Where's my palm branches and my grapes and my glass of wine? Sherry, they last a pretty good time. These actually have, these two that I just showed you that are looking pretty nasty. I've used these quite a bit before I came out here. I always try to use them until they're just done for. This one, I could actually still get some use out of it by hand. I could take it like this and use it. This one is pretty much gone. It's got the mud on there, and but I had used this quite a bit before. I'm just reading a comment real quick. I'm going to do my dresser. Okay, so Teresa, you want to put it on, and then after you put it on, you want to buff it with either a clean rag, or I like to use the shop towels because then I can just throw them away. I know it's not good for whatever. It's what I do because it works for me. I do use rags sometimes, but when they get oily on them, I usually throw the rags out too. The sander is a surf prep. Let me see if the name's on here. Here. It's backwards, but it's surf prep. And they're not cheap, but I love that it's rectangular, because the other thing that I like about it is if you notice some of them, so we have some like this, and then we have some, like this one is real soft. So I use this one. Let me show you. We're just kind of winging it. I'm just showing y'all what I can because of the rain. So you see this edge right here? So you can take it. I'm going to show you. See how it's and it goes almost all the way in. That's not something I could ever do with my round orbital sander. I could never ever get in the edges. I have 3 sanders, Sherry, and I haven't used the other ones since I got this one. The ones I have are orbital, and they don't have the soft. I did buy a soft extra piece for my, I don't know if mine's a DeWalt or Ryobi. I have a DeWalt sander and a Ryobi sander, the round orbital ones. And I did buy something very similar to this off of Amazon for my orbital sander because it's soft and you can push it in. But because they're round, I'm not able to hit. So because they're round and they're just like, I don't have to worry about this knocking this edge off. If you can see, it's still really nice. Now this is I believe I have a super fine on here. They say on the back. So this one's super fine. Okay, this grit. Now I have used this quite a bit. But, so they have These are really soft. They're great for details. So like on my linen, you can see the front of it. Do you see the curves and the details in that? So I could take this and go around it, and it gets in all of the little edges. Okay? Excuse me. I got stuff coming up there. And then they have the denser ones. So this is a little bit more dense. Okay, there's a purpose for all of them. They have a great PDF file that tells you how to use each and every one of them. I haven't really felt the need to go look at it yet, just because so far whatever I've picked has worked. But what I was going to tell you, I'm sorry for being all yucky today, guys. And I'm sorry for my beautiful hair. I know y'all are jealous. So for this purpose, the one that I had that I want it to be flat, I just wasn't thinking, and I started out with this. Not good. When you are filling in any spots, okay, like, I wish that I think my other drawers must be over there. I was trying to find one. Okay, so like this too, like this right here, you want this to be flat. You don't want it to indent like this. So you want a flat, and that's why if you don't have one of these sanders, you can take your sandpaper, okay? Take your sandpaper and wrap it around a block of like a 2x4 or something that you can put your hand around. But wrap it around something flat, and that's not going to give. And that way, because if you use your hand, now all of this is from experience, from making mistakes. Mistakes are what makes you better. So if you're using your hand and you're sanding like this, you see my fingers? I can't make my hand perfectly flat. I can't, I mean, you know, you're like this, you're like this, you're like this. You're not gonna get a flat surface for filling in. So you definitely, if you don't have a sander with a hard top, I don't have a piece of wood around here, but you want to wrap the paper that you're using around a block and use that so that you have a nice, even sand, okay? Now, of course, you don't need something like that when you're doing curves and stuff. And what you can do then, if you don't have one of these, like I said, they're not cheap, but I love tools. But what you can do, let's pretend like this is just a sponge, just a regular sponge. You can take your sandpaper and you can wrap it around your sponge, okay? And you can mimic the same idea yourself. You could take your regular sandpaper that you buy at the store, wrap it around your sponge, and then you can go in the details with this. That's why I like this, because I can just slap it on here and go all over the piece, and I don't have to worry about it taking off. I just like it because it doesn't take off the edges and stuff. Again, I don't sell these. I'm just showing you what I use, and I like it. Okay, so let's see. Let's try. I wish that I had. Let me see if I have another. Okay, so this drawer is just plain. Let's put some Butta. Gosh, let's put some Butta up here. Pretty plain. See, yep, you can do that, Angie. There's, you know, and that's what I did for years. I mean, I've been painting stuff for years, and you know, I'll admit, when my mom passed away last year, she left me a little bit of money, not a whole lot, but enough that I was able to buy a few tools that I've always wanted. So it was like her little thank you to me. You know, she left me, she loved me doing this. Oh, I'm sorry, Judy. It doesn't take long. I mean, I don't even think they say on here. I would think if you put this on and you buff it, probably by the next, say, 24 hours, it would be fine. Because as long as, you know, you feel it, you could probably, a good test would be to take a cloth like this and to buff it again. And if you get any residue, then you know it's still oily. But it doesn't really take that long, especially on dry wood. If your wood is dry, it's going to suck it right up. So again, I just put a little tip, and I'm just going to smush it. I want to get the lighting just, there we go. It's just a really nice, I don't like lining drawers. You see how it just takes those scratches right out? I should have wiped this edge off. I keep forgetting that I have dust everywhere. I can't tell you how many times I have blown off this stuff and then forget that I forgot something to sand. And then I'm going to get this, I'm going to do this part right here too. Again, see how little that is? It's just a dab. Little dab will do you. And I don't want to hit, well, this back edge doesn't matter because I'm not painting that, but this top edge I probably will paint. And I'm just smushing it in there. And then I'm going to, on the side, on the drawer sides, Sherry, it depends on my mood. If I haven't put a lot of, if it's something I'm going to sell and I haven't put a lot of time into it, I do like to do some stenciling or decoupage on the sides. But if I have, if they're pretty, like these really are in good shape. All the drawers in this thing look like this. They all look so nice. Okay, so so if they're in good shape, that's just one extra step that I don't like to have to do. But, you know, if I don't have a lot of pieces to do, and I have the time, I like to do that because I'm going to have to wipe my face off. I feel like hot flash and 90-degree weather, humidity, all this does not go together. And I probably have mascara all over my face. I attempted to put some mascara on so I didn't look too horrible. Can you put that on furniture or do you have to sand it first? No, Cindy, you can put it on the furniture. Now, if your furniture has a finish, it might not absorb. You know what? That's a good question. Cindy, I will, I'm going to find that answer out for you, and I will PM you. So it's hard for me to PM you your personal file because you may not ever see it. Facebook does weird things with it. If you go to this page and go to the messages and just shoot me a message, just say hi, then I can send you an answer easier. That way you won't have to be looking for it. It'll just come directly to you. But if I send you a message through my personal page, I don't even know if I send it through my business page. If I originate the message, you may have a hard time finding it. So just go to the messages, shoot me a hello, and then I will answer you through Messenger. Because I think you can, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know somebody who knows that answer. So I will find out for you. I'm going to do the back of this because it's so yucky. I just want to give you one more quick demonstration. And if we could have a smell-o-vision, this stuff, I have the Orange Grove. You see that? I have the Orange Grove, and it smells heavenly. It's a great way to refresh your furniture and to, especially if you've bought an older piece and it's musty smelling, this will take all that musty smell away. And that's why I'm doing the inside of that one. Yes, through Messenger. So go to the page you're on, my business page, and it'll say send a message. Click that and just say hi, and then I will answer you through Messenger. Or through Messenger. You can go on Messenger and same way. Okay, so you see that? That's funny. Look at that. It's a great way of refreshing your furniture. And then just buff it back. And this right here is so dry. If who asked me about? So Judy, if you're still watching, I can barely feel it on there just automatically. Just that's how quick, because it's so dry. So I'm buffing that down. You know, I would feel comfortable putting clothes in this right away, just because I can tell by feeling it. It's not oily at all. Okay, so that's probably, I think that's everything. This is what I used to strip. If y'all weren't watching the other day, this is what I used to strip the furniture. I like it because it's not harsh. I mean, it is harsh on your hands. You have to wear gloves. Again, I do not sell this product, nor do I don't have an affiliate link or anything, but I discovered these gloves about six months or so ago. I was at Lowe's, and it was when I paint my husband's car. So I painted my husband's car, and I had to use the lacquer thinner, which is the real deal, this awful stuff. And so I really wanted gloves that work, because, you know, you can get gloves, I mean, all day long. But if you hit them with a little bit of that lacquer thinner, it's going to pop holes in your gloves, just like that. I mean, even this stuff is as gentle as this is, it's still a stripper. And so this will go through your gloves as well. This does not go through these gloves. They're called Venom Steel. I know everything's backwards. But I don't know if you can even get them right now because of the glove hoarding. But if you're looking for gloves, they are a little bit pricier, but they're so much more economical because I can use the same gloves all day. I can put these gloves on. I can strip furniture, or I can clean, because you want to use gloves when you use white lightning because it can dry your hands out. So I always wear gloves. I cleaned all of this furniture in my garage the other day with one pair of gloves. If I were using the gloves that most people buy, I don't know, I probably have some somewhere, but they're usually clear or yellow or something. I'll go through 4 pairs of those cleaning furniture. If I'm stripping, I can't even use them. I'd have to use like garden gloves or something, because this stuff, I very rarely ever use this ever. But because this was so gross after I stripped it, even the mineral spirits, because that's what I use to clean up after I strip, I use mineral spirits. My people are driving by like, what is she doing? Who is she talking to? So I use mineral spirits to clean up my brushes, because you can reuse your brushes after you use the citrus strip. Okay, it doesn't harm your brushes. But I use the mineral spirits to clean off all of the stuff that comes out, after you have stripped. But this piece was it stripped easily, but it was disgusting. And I could not get it clean. So I had some of this left over from when I did my husband's car. And so I used this. But these are amazing. And like I said, they cost a little bit more, but they are economical because I can work on them, take them off, go eat lunch, come back, put the same pair of gloves on all day long. I was so impressed. And I bought them because they said heavy duty 2-layer protection. And their marketing is wonderful because, who doesn't want to buy gloves that look like this? I mean, Venom Steel. Doesn't that sound like amazing? Like they're steel. Their marketing is wonderful. They got me to buy them. It says heavy duty 2-layer protection, 70% thicker than disposable nitrile. Totally true. They have great marketing, but it's true. They work great. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. It's hot, hot, hot out here, and I have paperwork to do. And I have Butta I have cleaning. All of this stuff is covered in dust. I need to clean all of it off. But if you have any questions, if you're watching on the replay, please put it in the comments. And the quickest way for me to see it is if you tag me too. But I usually go back a few days after a live and I check for messages. If you have any questions that you want to ask me directly and have a conversation, just message me. And like I was telling Cindy earlier, if you message me, then I can I'll get it, and we can converse back and forth and figure out whatever issues that you're having. But until next time, and I'm hoping in the next couple of days, I think it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, but I'm going to be spraying Boss. I thought maybe I could show y'all how I would go about doing that. I don't want to spray. It's loud. My sprayer with the little machine's loud, but I'll show you how I go about doing it. And then, okay, good, Cindy. And then I'm also going to be starting on these guys. That one there. I need to use Slick Stick on those because they have that plasticky finish on them, and I'm out of Slick Stick. I was hoping to get them Slick Stick today so that we can start blending tomorrow. But I am going to do a blend on those. I am thinking Stormy Seas is going to be my main color. But I'm going to have a little bit of fun with those. And then this one's going to be Cobalt Blue with black and maybe some other blue. And then that one's going to be French Linen and Sawmill Gravy. That's my plan so far. But I will let y'all know. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow or the next day, depending on the weather. Otherwise, you guys have a great, great night, and we will see you. And Cindy, I'm going to find that answer out for you when I get off of here. Bye.